Yeah, 7.3, consideration of response to the 2022-23 Lake County Civil Grand Jury Final Report. This is brought to us by our admin office, and it looks like we have our Deputy CAO, Matthew Rothstein.
Good afternoon. It's a privilege to address your board this afternoon. I am Matthew Rothstein, Deputy County Administrative Officer. Each year, the Lake County Civil Grand Jury's final report documents findings and recommendations of their investigations. And in recent years, your board has been invited to respond to specified recommendations. You will have seen the draft response attached to today's agenda, prepared pursuant to Penal Code Sections 933 and 933.05. And draft responses included information provided by elected and appointed department heads, and we're very grateful to all who took time to review the reports and contribute. For your awareness, your board's final response must be submitted to Judge Markham no later than Tuesday, October 10th, and copies of the departmental responses will be included with your board's submittal. A typographical error was corrected in the Administrative Office's departmental response. The corrected version is now attached to today's agenda and publicly available. And staff recommends your board approve the 2022-23 grand jury response. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Supervisor Spatier.
And the only changes to the administration one was just the dates?
Yes.
Okay. There was something, I'll just express it, but I can go either way. The responses that we have here, not specific to our sheriff's response, but our overall Board of Supervisor response that summarizes all of the responses. So for example, underneath the sex trafficking, hiding in plain sight, the note says no response was required or requested at the Board of Supervisors. Our board encourages readers to review the response of Lake County Sheriff Rob Howe, which indicates this recommendation has been implemented. And it says the same thing underneath America's Bleeding School Shootings. And the way that I read it is, it sounds like the recommendation has been implemented based off of the recommendation that was provided to us, but it has already been implemented prior to the investigation. And I kind of wish that it says that, so that on the record, this was not an issue that we resolved. This was never an issue. And it's the way I read it is, it was an issue that we have resolved. And again, I can go either way because I know where we are and I know where we stand, but in writing, it reads differently, in my opinion, compared to what the truth is. So wanted to see what the board thought of that, and either way, I'm willing to move forward.
I noticed that too, and maybe going forward, we could word it a little differently next year. That, it's. I agree with that. Anyone else?
Yeah, can we make that change today? I'm in agreement with that change.
Yes, your board can make changes to the report as presented, and as far as approval, your board has the discretion to approve it as amended with those changes, if your board so chooses.
Now, I will say, I know that it's part of post-training, but I don't know the initial time that that post-training was required. Was it 6 months ago when this started? But the way that it was worded, it's already been part of the process. So I don't know if we have enough from the sheriff to say 100% prior to the investigation. Is there a better term to use? Okay, you're okay. Then I would like to move forward with adding the words prior to this grand jury investigation to those two items of the note under sex trafficking and America's Bleeding.
Okay. Any public comment? Okay, come on up.
Joan Moss. My photographs of the hitch were very moving to me, and I studied this report very carefully. On page 212, there is effect on the hitch. I'd like to read this into the record. This is by the grand jury members. Over the last 6 years, the number of hitch has declined significantly, and now many local agencies consider it to be an endangered species. Recently, an emergency was declared by the Board of Supervisors regarding the status of the hitch. Part of the reason for the decline of the hitch is the pollution of the waters of Clear Lake from chemicals such as cyanotoxins. These chemicals, commonly referred to as blue-green algae, are particularly harmful to adults, children, animals, and fish. Runoffs from agricultural properties and cannabis farms contain insecticides and fertilizers. These are meant to control insects, but affect the health of crops, the hitch, and the lake. That's page 2012 of the grand jury report. And this is doing what we find it hard to do here in Lake County Supervisors, is connect subjects to subjects. The hitch don't have any choice of what they breathe with. Okay? They breathe using all these cyanotoxins and poisons. So I think that should be in the record. And I am just a citizen. I am not a member of the grand jury. But I did put this in an article, and I will send it to you. Thank you. It's called Froth Monsters. You're going to love it. But this is in the grand jury report. My story is about the geothermal solids and wastes that have gotten into our water. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else in the Zoom room? Okay, then I will bring it back to the board for action.
Move to approve the response to the 2022-23 Lake County Civil Grand Jury Final Report.
As amended?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes. Thank you.